The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Oh, hello. Welcome to Wow. Oh, it feels so good back speaking. Wow, what a weekend I had. Mother's Day weekend. Simply awesome. I really enjoyed myself. Mother's Day weekend. Really nice. I got the opportunity to spend time with family, which was great. A lot of us got together. I actually started early Mother's Day. I started on Saturday, and I didn't wait till Sunday. I was started on Saturday to enjoy myself. And, I think Mother's Day should be every day, not just one day during the week. But anyways, today I have a guest co-host, and her name is Tawonna Jackson, aka Sugar. Yes, UGA Sugar. She will be joining me today, and we will be touching such topics as the royal wedding. Yes, we are days before the royal wedding, and this is definitely going to be something to behold. We have Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are going to tie the knot this week, and that's all that you hear. That's a lot of the buzz that's going on. So we're going to be speaking about that. Also, I have another guest that is going to be speaking about being on the run from her husband. Yes, you heard it right. Being on the run from her husband. She's been going through some abuse and for quite some time, and there's been some difficult things that she has had to face, and she is going to be speaking with me exclusively on how every time she goes somewhere, she tries to relocate, her husband keeps finding her. So, you're going to be speaking about that. That's just something like to really just think about. You're trying to get away from a person, and every time you relocate somewhere, they manage to find you. So we're going to be talking with her exclusively and finding out what it's like to try to get away from somebody. And then not only that, but you're going to the courts and people are not siding with you, or they're not believing you, your family. And I cannot wait to speak with her in a little while during the show. Let me tell you, this weather has been something else. Out in New York here, it rained. It rained on Mother's Day. I just thought that we would have a nice day with sunshine and and everything else. I know that a lot of you around the country probably have had nice weather or great weather, but here in New York it rained. So, but that didn't stop us. We went from outside, we were under a tent, and then we went, took our Mother's Day celebration and on the inside, and I had the opportunity to enjoy myself with family. As a matter of fact, I'm still celebrating. I have not picked up a pot, a pan, a broom, or anything else, because I'm still on a high from yesterday. Just being able to relax myself. I think I wanted more peace than anything, just some time to relax myself, because we get so wound up in our everyday life that we fail to sit back and just smell the roses, or fail to sit back and just spend peaceful time with ourselves, alone time with ourselves, meditating. I feel that's important. It helps you deal with a lot of things that are going on in everyday life in the world. So I got the opportunity to spend time with my mother, and that was great. For those of you who may not have your mom living, or you may have had the opportunity to celebrate with your mother. Either way, always celebrate her life, because we don't know who's going to be here from one day to the next. Some of my friends were dealing with the first time of not having their mother around for Mother's Day. Maybe that could be you, sitting down right now, have been going through the same thing. But I just want to tell you to celebrate the life of your loved ones. Celebrate your mother. You only get one, and we shouldn't take that fact for granted. And we should celebrate our mothers every day. I'm not talking about you have to buy them a gift every day. No, I'm just saying let them know that you appreciate them, that you love them, because that means a lot. Not just on a day that the world says that we should celebrate. So anyway, I did definitely enjoy myself for Mother's Day. We need it at least once. We need Mother's Day once a month. If I had my choice, we would have Mother's Day definitely once a month. So for my co-host that's going to be coming on, Tawonna Jackson, aka Sugar, I had her on a little bit over a week ago, and we were talking about the situation surrounding Bill Cosby and everything that has taken place with him. In reference to that, I heard that Temple just took away an honorary doctorate degree or honorary degree. They, still stripping him of whatever else he has left. If you can think that he has anything left, they're still stripping him of that. So he's definitely still suffering from whatever may have or have not taken place. It's definitely have taken a toll on his, I don't even know if you can even say he still has a career. I'm not even going to go that far, but to say that, but whatever he has left is still continuing to be stripped and taken away as far as his accolades are concerned that he's earned throughout his career. Also, we were also speaking about the R. Kelly situation where they want to mute R. Kelly, and that a lot of the radio stations they're saying they're not going to play his music. They're following suit with the other women. They're taking a stand saying they're going to mute him, and some of the big name radio stations are not going to play his music because they're just not happy with the way that his life has been alleged to have happened. The only problem with that is, can you convict somebody before they're actually convicted? Can you judge somebody or before they're judged? We get all kinds of videos and different things about celebrities and things that have happened, but he's never been accused, convicted in a court of law for any of these things. But yet and still, some of his music, his career, some of his careers are taking toll. And I don't know. I'm going to continue to see how that unfolds with R. Kelly in that situation, if more people are going to step up and stand up, or if his record label is going to drop him. I mean, he's still doing concerts. He's still doing a tour. So it seems like he has some fans out there, some people that actually believe in his music or believe in him, some diehard fans. I was looking at his Instagram account, and it seems like he still has some fans that are telling him not to worry about it. It's going to be okay, and we're going to still buy your music. So we'll see if record label decides to get rid of him. And on another thing we were talking about was with Kanye West. He really, really said something that was totally out of character in regards to slavery. I don't know if a lot of you know, but he was saying how slavery was a choice, and he lost a lot of followers on his Twitter account because of that. A lot of the celebrities were coming at him. There were memes that were coming from left and right about him, and it seems to me as it was more of a publicity stunt. I don't know when his record is supposed to drop, but I know that his credibility is dropping, especially with the fans and a lot of people that looked up to him. Um, and that's important. We a lot of times when we look up to people, we look up to celebrities, we shouldn't think that their lives are perfect, but we should see that, they're human, just like you and I. Like, everybody goes through something. So what may look like something on the outside, you never know what a person's going on, what's going on with a person on the inside. So a lot of times we shouldn't be so shocked when we find things out about celebrities, but they're humans just like, you and I. So when things happen or things arise, I just say we just, kind of like take it in stride. A lot of times we look at the person for what they do, like we look at an actor, and a lot of times I would think that that person, years ago, I would think that that person was the same way in real life, but you can't. You got to know that they're just in character. That's not them on an everyday basis, but they're just playing that particular role. Some people play that role so well that people really think that if they play it like a villainous role, or they're evil and nasty on film, that or on camera, people really think that they're like that in real life, and a lot of them will walk by and won't say anything to the person, because they're thinking that they're like that in real life. So I just say we got to start thinking, saying that they are humans, and they make mistakes, and different things like that. And especially with our kids, we kind of should start trying to curb what they watch and who they're speaking to, things that people that they're looking up to. Because when they go out there and they do things like people alleging R. Kelly does, or did, when they go out there and they do things like people are, Bill Cosby has been convicted of, or when they go out there and they make statements like Kanye West made. I mean, and got kids that's looking up to them. Where does that put their mind? How does that make them react when they find out that somebody that they looked up to is not, who they thought they were, and then something comes out about them, and then all of a sudden, that really messes them up. So I'm just going to say that we just got to realize that they're human beings, and that, things do happen. And we shouldn't really, a lot of times, idolize people and think that they're that way in real life just because we see them like that on camera, or anything else. And that way we won't have to be so upset when we find out certain things, or so shocked when we find out certain things. But I'm going to be speaking with Tawonna Jackson in a few, as she's going to be reaching out to me. And I just really, really appreciate her as a person. We have met, we've known each other now for a few years, and she's come to be a person that I've known to admire. We recently just had an event where she came out, and we had a good time. It was a women's empowerment, and she was chosen as Queen of the Year. And that is one of the highest, the most prestigious awards that could be given, is Queen of the Year. And for me, that was an honor to give to her, because she just earned every bit of it. Like, she's the epitome of a person that you want to be involved in. A lot of times it's hard to find people that you can trust, or people that you really hit it off with, because when people seem like their intentions are good, a lot of times it's really not. That you find out other things kind of about them. But I'm so thankful that I probably have to reach out to her. I'm so thankful that she is a good friend of mine, and that she is going to be joining me as a co-host. And being a part of this show because it's a lot of different things that we go through as far as this group is concerned, and that is Positive Queens. There's so many women out there that's hurting. There's men out there that's hurting. There's just so many people that are hurting that, you know, fail to realize that everybody needs somebody at some point in their life. We shouldn't think that people are not going through things, or they might look like they're smiling and next thing you know they got a disaster going on. But we should look at it like, you never know what's going on with a person, and from that fact alone, we should try to reach out and be a little bit more kind. I'm going to try to reach Tawonna and see if I can get her to come in. Hello.
Hello, hello,
How
hello.
are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay. I got your message. I'm just so thankful that you are able to join us. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
Okay, I'm good. And how was your Mother's Day? What did you do?
Oh my gosh. I had the best Mother's Day I have had in a long time.
Really?
My house right now is completely covered in glitter. I have glitter and bedazzle all over the place.
What?
So my mother, Miss Sassy Pants that I was telling you about, she likes to do arts and crafts types of things. So every year we do something, we create something, we make something. So this year her bright idea was to make shoes. So we went to Hobby Lobby and bought all these crafts and all of this glitter and sparkle to put on these shoes. Well, I had the bright idea to cover the table because I'm thinking we will just do this on the table. We had glitter everywhere.
Are you
it
serious?
Was glitter in our hair, glitter on our face, on the clothes. It's every room in this house has some type of glitter.
Oh my
somewhere.
Goodness. That must have been something else.
Oh my God, it was so much fun. But the cleanup, oh my God, I'm going to be seeing glitter for months. But it's okay.
So y'all had a glitter party for Mother's Day.
It was horrible, but it was fun. But it was horrible. So how was your Mother's Day?
I was telling everybody it was so good. Like, I just really enjoyed myself because I started on Saturday. I was not playing. I wasn't waiting till Sunday. I said, listen, I'm going to start a day early and get a head start. But I definitely enjoyed myself. I was just speaking with everybody, telling them about the royal wedding that is going to be taking place. And it's so many twists and turns to this now. Like, are you kidding me?
Okay. So I was doing my research because I found out that the wedding is Saturday. So first I got to get my dress and my hat ready. I didn't get an invite, but I know it was a mistake, so I'm going to just go. Anyway, I got my dress and my hat ready. So, because she's going to need somebody to walk her down the aisle if her father can't go.
Yes. I seen that just a few hours ago that the fathers dropped out.
Okay, now I was reading his reasons why he dropped out. So he was saying
Now, was he instrumental really in her life? I don't think that he was instrumental in her life too much.
Well, according to what I was reading, they had a very close relationship. And that they were very, hands-on and he was very, instrumental in her life because it said that they were very close. However, he has half-sisters and brothers. I guess they have different moms, of course, but they have the same dad. That she don't fool with them at all, and they're not coming to the wedding either.
I think they're hating, yeah. It's only two people that were supposed to come, the mother and the father, from what I hear.
Right. But now the father backed out. He said that he didn't want to embarrass her or the royal family. So apparently been staging like little photo ops for the paparazzi to catch him doing things.
Oh, yeah.
So Yeah. So then one of the paparazzi caught him buying beer. So he tried to backtrack and say that he wasn't buying the beer for himself. He was buying the beer for the guards where he lives. So now I'm thinking, where do you live where you have to have guards? Like, I don't know. How serious is this? Where do you live that you have to have a guard somewhere? But he said that he was buying beer for them. And then the half-sister, Samantha, was supposedly staging him to be caught doing, nice things or things that would make him look better in the limelight. But
Yes.
he kept saying that that it wasn't for financial gain and this and that. But I don't know. Like, are you really trying to, make a name for yourself because your daughter's getting ready to marry, into royalty?
Well, I think it was all for money. They're saying no, it's not money, but I think it was a money thing. And he also had somebody else that he was talking to that he had paid a young man to help do the photos. And then they had when he was supposed to be getting sized for the tuxedo and everything.
Right.
He did a lot. But my thing is this: how can you now say you don't want to embarrass her? I mean, it's worldwide news of what you did. Like,
it's too late.
It's too late. So I just say, walk her down the aisle unless they're gently putting it like that, because they could tell us anything. Unless they just put it out there like that and, they're like, no, we can't have him walk her down the aisle now. I really think it's coming more or less from the royal family's point of view. And I really think that, what do you think that Queen Elizabeth is thinking right now? Do you think she's really like looking down like, this is not making us look good at all? Like, this just can't happen, this type of scandal surrounding us?
Listen, I think she's been looking down her nose since the whole thing started, okay? When he first said back in November that they were engaged, she said, say what now? What? Engaged to whom? I can just see it. I can see it right now. She took that hat off real quick and said, wait, let me make sure I got this clear. You're marrying who? Okay.
I mean, because she is, well, she's going to be a black. She's going to be a black.
Yeah, we got us one, babe, okay? Okay?
We made it in there.
Listen, if we can get into royalty, we are unstoppable. Do you hear me? How many little girls have been running around here saying, I want to be a princess when I grow up? What? But we have one, okay? And she's the bomb because I loved watching her on her TV show. So, going back to like her father, when I was reading, he said that he didn't do these things for financial gain. And he said that he had turned down several interviews that was offering him money since the time that those two started dating. So he's trying to make it seem like, oh, I just don't want to be in the way. I don't want to be a problem. But now, if you're not coming to the wedding, I'm going to walk her down the aisle. Because apparently she's just going to be with her mom in the hotel, and then she's going to ride with her mother what is it, St. George, where they're supposed to be getting married, the Windsor.
Yes,
Did you see pictures of that?
Yes, absolutely beautiful. Well, why don't she just let Queen Elizabeth walk her down? They breaking up any other protocol. Let Queen Elizabeth just walk her down. They just walk down together and just, hey, it is what it is, I say.
Or they could just call me up. I'll go. Gladly. I got some good shoes I can wear.
So when you get on one arm, I get on the other, we'll walk it down.
Right. We'll be like, hey, girl, hey.
What she must be going through, not having, like, I guess the most important man in her life other than her soon-to-be husband, walk it down. And you know what? This is a moment I would just be like, you know what? Everything is so traditional. Let's just have it a personal, private thing, and then we'll just take it out for everybody else. We don't have to have the cameras in. Nobody has to see. This is just too much. This will be a moment to elope.
Absolutely. At this point, when things start getting this thick and you're this close to your big day and you're a father, A girl doesn't want their father to walk them down the aisle. I don't care how much beer he was trying to buy or all these impromptu paparazzi shots. Okay, whatever. Just come on. We'll deal with that later. But
yeah,
I mean, it's too much headache for me. I'll be like, look here, babe, let's go over to Vegas. We get this done. Nobody have to know.
Go to Vegas by horse. Let's hop on a horse.
Right. Girl, look, they're going by horse and carriage. I don't want to go by horse and carriage. I didn't have that. Like,
oh my goodness.
Either.
This is going to be something to see how it all turns out. I mean, you know, I just kind of, why do we have to have the scandal? Why just can't everything just go just nice and, you know, just be, you know, this fairy tale wedding? Why did it has to be some nonsense? I just don't get it. Everything couldn't run smooth, you know. So
I have a few reasons why. Girl, do you know that they actually have etiquette rules that they have given to these people that they can and cannot do? I wrote them down because I did not want to miss talking about this.
Etiquette? What do you mean etiquette rules?
The first rule was the bride and the groom, you know, your guests. So the bride's guests have to sit on a separate side of the church than the groom's guests. Like, they can't sit together or commingle. They have to sit on separate sides. And the royal family's guests, they have to sit to the right. No questions asked, okay? Right. And then it says that, you know how you toss the bouquet and your bridesmaids or whomever try to catch the bouquet? You better not touch it. You have to put it on a deceased war hero's grave. She has to leave it there at the grave because this is a tradition that started way back from Queen Elizabeth, and that's what they have to do.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah, that's different. And the women have to wear hats. Okay, that's why I said I'm going to give me a good hat and I'm going to get to that wedding because you have to wear hats.
Well, I'm wondering if you're friends because you know so much about
Listen, I'm telling you, when I say I had to research, I said, now I know good and well this cannot be what you have to do. But apparently you have to do these things.
Well, isn't it worth it? You're going to come out with a prince.
Well, listen, I don't care. You wear jeans, tennis shoes to my wedding. I just need the priest and my man. Everybody else is obsolete, okay?
Yeah, so, they don't have to be there.
No, because you get all you see is the altar.
Oh yeah. So I just can't wait till this is over. I really can't.
Then it says you have to follow the queen, basically. So if she eats up, you stand up.
Oh,
okay.
All right. Well, I could do that. I could do that. I wonder what's going to be on the menu, though. Oh.
Throwing my joke, but I'm not going to do it. I'm sure it's going to be all kinds of goodness on that menu.
I got to keep it clean. I'm going to get ready to reach out to our guest, in whom we're going to keep her name concealed just for her privacy reasons. And when I spoke with her earlier about the situation, it was just like, amazing to me at how in this day and age that with the court systems and with law enforcement, how things like this happen or they take place, that women don't feel safe or they have to be basically on a run and like pick up and just try to move on. So I'm just gonna hold on and gonna out to yes. I don't know. My heart goes out because it's like, when you have kids, have young kids, you have to really, really, really mindful, of a lot of things because, they bear the brunt
absolutely
of, what's going on,
Because if you're not all right, how are you be a safe haven for your kids if you're in harm's way?
Right. It's just something to hold.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that people are going through things like that. You
Yeah,
would kind of
yeah.
think that everything, everything is going to be all right, you know?
It's
So,
sad. It's a sad situation, especially having to even, you know, having to have that type of turmoil in your life where you're on the run and you're constantly looking over your shoulder and you don't want, to be, or you can't be seen because you're scared somebody's going to see you and find you and tell this other person where you are. It's horrible, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
right, right, right. It's, it's, for me, it kind of changed how I looked at things, as I was
Yeah.
speaking with her. So, just give me a moment so I can get her on the line, and
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
No, I'm going to be mad at you if you're at that wedding and you didn't tell me and you just don't want me to know because you're not supposed to reveal that you're going to be there.
Okay, so if they air it on TV, I'll be the one doing like this. I have my piece stand up, like I'll be in the back. You know that red dress I had on? I'm wearing that dress. And I'm for giving me a fancy hat, and that's gonna be me. You say, I know Tawonna is not on this. Yep, that's me.
Let me give it a try. Let me see if she's going to pick up for me. Hello.
Still me here. Hi, how are you?
Hello, hello. You are live on the air with cards on the table with Queen V and my guest co-host Sugar. How are you?
Hey. Hi, how are you?
Okay, we're gonna just for your privacy's sake, we'll just call you Molly for this segment because I don't want to reveal your identity because I know what you're going through. Can you just give everybody a little bit of a backstory on what exactly is happening with you?
Sure. Right now, my son and I are at I I don't know. This is maybe attempt number 3 or 4 to get away from my abusive ex, which is my son's father. We recently had found out that he had located us yet again. We saw him in public and had a very bad experience. So right now we're in the process of trying to make time.
Oh, you say yet again. How many times has it been since you actually picked up and relocated?
This will be, let's see, 1, 2. This will be the 3rd time.
Have you tried to get anybody to intervene in this situation, or have you told anybody? Because that's a lot to just have to get up and pick up and just start all over again. Not once, not twice. Once is a lot, but 3 times.
Yes, we have. We reached out to family. Our first attempt was mostly with family, and unfortunately, in this situation, he's managed to manipulate my family, so he's able to get information from them. So I've kind of lost that support system. They're still in my life, but sadly I have to keep them at arm's length. I can't give them too much information. I can't see them very much. We have
worked with various organizations, and the court system really has failed us in all of this. Some of these guys, I think, are able to manipulate the court system. They know what they're looking for. So at this point now, we're going to work with an organization that we worked with the last time that was actually very helpful, and they did everything they could to help us. But, once we were out of their scope of help and, back onto our feet, then we're kind of just trying to make new connections. And unfortunately, he is able to somehow find out who we talk to and what we do. So every connection that we've really built, we don't know if we can trust them or not.
Let me ask you a question. When people say family, they usually think that, people are tight and they're, close-knit. What is it about your family that they're not, on your side with this? What is making him being able to manipulate all of their minds? Like, I don't understand.
In my situation, there is a long history with my family that I was abused for many years as a child in a lot of different ways. I was adopted by them when I was a baby, and then I ended up, as a teenager, I ended up back into the system after I ran away, and I told someone what was going on. So, then when you get out of the foster care system and you're an adult, it's who do you turn to? And, they were the only thing I knew. So I went back to that situation, even though it was a very toxic situation. And I've tried to maintain those relationships, and I think at times it's very one-sided, like I'm working hard to maintain it, and they're not so much.
Well, have you reached out to the authorities at all? I would think that if you're in fear of your life and you have to keep moving, I mean literally relocating, wouldn't you think that the authorities would at least try to help you? Have you gone to the police and reported this? I mean...
honestly, at this point, I don't have, unfortunately, a whole lot of faith in our local system here as far as the authorities go. I know while I was in the relationship with my ex, I had numerous times I had called the police for, different things that he was doing. Had gotten violent, or the majority of the times it was things had gotten violent, and they never really did anything. They would come, they would ask him to leave for the night, he would come right back, and we'd be right back at it. And actually, there was at one point in time, the police had been to our house so many times that they said, the next time we come out here, we're going to arrest someone. And actually, at that time, my ex had put a bunch of scratches all over his body, and there was an altercation, but I had never done anything to him. And he called the police, and I got arrested. And I was not the one that did anything. And in that situation, I had a very bad experience with the police. But eventually that part did get cleared up. But after this last time that we got away from him also, I had reached out to the court system. We had filed for a restraining order, and they gave us an emergency restraining order. In that emergency restraining order, because he had also abused my son, they had sent a referral to Child Protective Services, and they said the Child Protective Services would have to be the one that would file charges against him. Child Protective Services didn't take our case. They said there wasn't enough evidence, and they let it go. And then even worse, when we went back for the full hearing on the restraining order, I was not able to get that full restraining order because I didn't have enough proof, they said. I didn't have enough evidence in the situation to be able to get that. So at the point that we're at now, I don't have very much faith in them to call and expect them to help us or to do anything for us.
There has to be somebody out there that will be able to help you. Tawonna, are you hearing this?
I'm hearing this, and I am relating to a lot of the things that she's saying when it comes to in terms of restraining orders and court systems, because pretty much if you don't show up there battered and bruised, they're going to say there's not enough evidence, this, that, and the third. And if she's, after all of this that she said, and she's still not granted a restraining order against this man, I would feel just like her, like there's pretty much nowhere else you can turn. But however, I would still keep going, and I will keep filing those reports. And if he is still harassing you, I will write it down, take notes of everything, and you turn it in to the authorities. If they're talking about they have to arrest somebody, then so be it.
Right.
But your safety is more important, because pretty soon you're not going to be able to go to the authorities.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then what? You have a child. You have to think about yourself, and you don't want to just, you don't want to have to keep moving, because you don't want to, instill in him that it's okay to just go. You have to do something about it. Somebody's got to listen, because if this man if he's continuing to bother you, he's coming for you. First things first, your family and your friends, somebody's giving this man information about you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's time for you to take a step back. I'm not saying cut off your family and friends, because you need that support, even if it's just to talk for 5 minutes. But maybe you have to just take a step back for a while and let them know my safety is in jeopardy. Somebody here is telling this man how to reach out to me or how to find me. So I'm just going to leave everybody alone until I get myself and my son somewhere that we can be safe and live a normal life.
Wow.
So what do they call it? Falling off the grid? Maybe you have to go off the grid. No social media, because those things can be tracked as far as location is concerned. Change your phone number, turn the phone off, or get, what do you call that? Like a prepaid phone where those can't be tracked, or however they do it. Use those, because you have to think about it. It's not only yourself, it's your son. And I understand that that's his father, but if he's abusing him too, I mean, you don't know to what lengths this man is willing to go. Once he finds you, what is he going to do next? Are you even going to have the time to get to an authority figure? Somebody has to do something. And I'm just going to ask, are you a praying woman or a spiritual person at all?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, you should try going to the church. Somebody can help you. There's no way in the world that this man is able to do this with no consequence. Because they always say, go to the authority, go to the authority. We go to the authority time and time again, nothing happens until it's too late. Or, worst case scenario, what if you just get fed up and you do something to him? They'll come for you fast because you're a woman. Oh, she premeditated this. Don't even don't even let it get to that point. If you have to show up at the police station every day, then you show up to the police station every day. Because your safety is more important. Your son's safety is more important.
Have you tried the school system? Like, how old is your son?
He's 7.
Oh, he's
so he's going to school. So, to me, he's old enough to give an account of what happened. What is the school saying? Because a lot of times when things happen with children, the school, they will really get involved, and that's who that's who else you can try to get behind you. Have you ever reported to the school?
Yes, actually, we have worked very closely with the school, and there's another local organization here, a nonprofit, who provides counseling services to children. We've worked closely with them for the past 2 years. And they do have documentation there of everything that he's dealt with in therapy and things that he has in his own writing that I have a copy of, where he states the things that happened in our home. And I did reach out to his case manager through that nonprofit, and at this point, it is possible that they may be going ahead and working on filing charges to help us with that situation. But they're also in the corner of exactly what you said, falling off the grid.
Absolutely.
That's kind of where we're at now, and that's what I tried to do the last time. I mean, I shut down email accounts. I started new ones that were under fake names. I started a Facebook that was under a fake name. I was very selective with who I added on there. It was all new connections that I had made. And everything was private. I ditched my phone. I got a new phone number. I got a new bank, everything. We moved to a different county and all of that. Now this time, and everybody that I've reached out to so far, which isn't a lot because we don't want a lot of people really involved, because the more people that are involved, that's the more people who know and who are able to say something.
Absolutely.
But this time we're looking at a more drastic type of move. We're looking at how can we get farther away? What can we do to stay more private? If we have to, if we have to lock certain things down to ensure from this point forward that we don't have to keep running and we don't have to keep looking over our shoulder, because we're tired of living that way and nobody deserves to live that way.
Absolutely. And then you have to explain that to him. Now, are you in any type of position to leave the state altogether instead of just switching counties? How about just leaving that state altogether and just going somewhere and starting over?
Yes, I actually, I'm working on that right now. I spoke with our local women's shelter, which is where we had gone the last time we got away from him, and they are willing to make a referral. They told me that they have places that we can go all across the country. So they basically said, where do you want to go? And they can help refer us to that. Our only real barrier right now is that they have relocation funds that they can help people with financing to get to that place. That's our main barrier right now, is finances. And I think that's very common, and I think that's a lot. I know in my history with this man and with other men that I had bad relationships with, that is a common thing that I think these men use against women like myself, that we don't have a lot of money and we don't have a lot of resources.
Exactly.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to do what I can to try and help you, because this doesn't sit well with me. And Tawonna, we have the House of Queens, that you are a part of, which is affiliated with one. And reach out to some other people that can try to help you, because there are probably a lot of other people that are going through the same thing.
Yes, ma'am.
And just by you opening up, you're helping other people. A lot of times when we go through things, it's not necessarily for us or for us to try to help. I'm optimistic. I feel that you're going to look back on this and say, look at what I've gone through. Look at how far that I've come. And you have to take control. And the reason why you have to take control is because 7-year-olds not responsible for what's taking place in this world, but are responsible, are his parents. So you have to make the best decisions, the best choices that you can in regards to that. A lot of times when we relationships, us as women, we don't necessarily make the right choices. but you're in this now, and you made the positive choice to get out of the situation. But going forward, I would really, really, before I spoke to anybody else or got in any other relationship, try to get things together with my son and I, and really, really search and find a history of the person that you're getting with, because it seems like, maybe you have had other relationships that were somewhat like this, or we get used in an abusive, we get used to being treated a certain way because that's the way we feel that, a lot of us don't have, sometimes self-esteem, or we don't feel that we measure up because we've been treated so badly for so long. Also, your son's very impressionable at 7 years old. You want to
Absolutely.
start taking in what he sees. Don't want him to think that that's the way a man is supposed to treat a woman, because it's not. You don't want the reckless behavior of, this is his father, biological father?
Yes.
You don't want your son to think that that's the way that he's supposed to treat a woman. So you have to grab hold right now. You have to gain some stability for him. I know it might sound tough right now because you're trying to find a stable environment, but these are all the things that I would like you to think about, forthcoming. And as Sugar was saying, praying woman, because God does answer prayers. He answers prayers. You have to just know that things are going to be better. Things are going to get better. Like she said, you got to get back. Don't tell anybody your next move except for the people that are helping you. And right now, it doesn't seem like you have friends or family. So you need to reach out to somebody in the church, definitely law enforcement, because you don't know what he's going to do to you physically. And if he's that manipulative, he's good at it. He's good at it.
Oh yeah. Yes, he's very good at it. And I have reached out to my church. That's kind of another situation, and they've reassured me, and they have great security at my church, but I've also been afraid that he might show up at church or something like that, but they've reassured me. I cannot tell you how many hours that they have spent pastoring me and praying over me and praying over my son, and they have seen us through all of this, even right after we got settled here. I found this church, and they're just wonderful. And they're even now, they said, hey, look, when you get wherever it is you're going, let us know, because we know other churches all across the country. So they have said, hey, we'll hook you up with a great church that you can go to from here on out. They're very supportive of the situation. So that is one thing. I'm very blessed to have them in my life. And as far as law enforcement, we're looking at reaching out to them to make a safe getaway, because he has several firearms. He stocks up on ammunition. I've not known him to ever, hopefully he's never, shot a person, but it's not to say that he wouldn't do something like that. Knowing that how manipulative he is, and you don't know what somebody's really capable of doing, and I don't want to find out.
Absolutely. You don't really know the mindset of a person until they hit that one desperate moment where he's really seeking to find you, and he's not going to stop until he finds you. But I'm going to say this: if you don't take any little nuggets away from this conversation, I want you to just take this. You have to stand firm in your choices to get away and stay away. Mm-hmm. I don't care if he tries to charm you and all the shoulda, coulda, woulda. He can save it. Once you are away, just stay away for the safety of yourself and the safety of that 7-year-old boy. You do not want him, just like Queen V said, to grow up and think that it's okay for him to repeat the same things that he saw his father do, because he knows that is his dad, and all little boys want to be just like their fathers. You have to teach him and speak life into that little boy every single day and let him know that this is not right. this is not how a man is supposed to treat a woman. These are the things that I'm expecting for you to do growing up as a mighty man of valor. The older he gets, you have to keep it up. Just keep instilling in him the good things. You can't let the bad things that's going on with you guys right now, get into his head and he thinks that this is right. Because he's 7. So everything that he sees happening is real life to him. Oh, yeah. And he thinks that this is how it's supposed to be. So you have to continue to speak life into that boy and tell him that, no, this is not right. These are the things that we need.
What is your plan? Do you have a plan right now? Don't have a plan on what it is that you're going to do. I really, I'm worried. Do you have an immediate plan on what it is that you need?
Immediately right now, like I said, I've already contacted the shelter, so we're looking at our options as far as relocating.
Does he know where you are now?
Exactly. He does know where we are now, yes.
I'd love to finish this conversation with you. Running out of time. But we're going to continue when this is over. I really want to speak to you because, you have to have a plan. I just want to say this in closing. I appreciate each and every one of you that are tuned in tonight. And on behalf of myself and my co-host, Sugar. Hey, Sugar.
Hey.
We're going to back next week. And Molly, we're just going to continue working with you and hoping for the best. Sugar, if there's something that you want to leave Molly, what would that be?
If you need someone to talk to, look for me. She's on the Positive Queens page, correct?
Yes, she is.
Yes.
Contact information.
Please find me. I want to talk to you some more off the air. If I have to talk to you until tomorrow morning, Constant, I'll talk to you until tomorrow morning, Constant. Just reach out. Because we are now sister queens, okay?
I want everybody to have a happy
I greatly appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next week.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Okay.
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay. Bye-bye.